welcome back again. Here with AudioStage, we have with us Jess Orestano.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on. You've obviously done a performance with us now. How did that go?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I followed Voices from the Fuselage.
Okay.
So I was just enjoying a one-person gig for most of the evening.
Yeah.
And then it was my turn. But yeah, it went all right, I think. Played a new song. I hadn't played it live before, so that was quite fun to do.
That's quite an undertaking, like to just throw out a new tune, like.
Yeah, I do stupid stuff like that. I was singing it on the drive over to the recording. I was singing it in the car, like, must remember the words to this new song. But yeah, a few takes we got there, I think.
Yeah. And you feel it went well?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll see on the playback.
Well, obviously, I've had the opportunity to see it all, so yeah. No,
do you think it went well?
I think it went very well, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
all right then. You're asking me for.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not really sure.
Interrogating me.
No, that's good, yeah. So, obviously, you played 3 songs for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what was it? It was sort of like one was quite an old one you'd done.
Mm-hmm.
One was like slightly new, and then obviously one brand new.
Yep.
I've been obviously listening to your music and following you for a while. So yeah, sort of let's talk about some of your music basically. Obviously, you did the first song was Magpies. So
yeah.
What was that all about?
So, my brother used to know someone who was really into bird watching and stuff.
Okay.
And so my brother would come home with all these little facts about birds. Like when he'd seen this chap, he used to kind of be like, "Did you know?" And he said once that magpies mate for life. So if you saw one alone, it meant that they hadn't met their mate for life, or that they'd died. Which
it's really sad, actually.
Yeah, it's sad. I
It's
know. I always introduce the
sad.
song like that, and then I'm like, "Sorry, everyone."
Depress everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Now enjoy the song. But and he said like "One for Sorrow" comes from that.
Yeah.
So I sort of wrote the song based on that and being in love and stuff. That was about 10 years ago now, I think. Maybe a bit less, about 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it's been around a while, that song.
Yeah, it has, definitely. Yeah. I did nothing with it for a while, and then all of a sudden I thought, I'll record it, and it got quite a good feedback. I was like, maybe I should have done this sooner.
Yeah, I remember it getting really good
like
feedback, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind saying, obviously, we used to go to the acoustic nights together.
Yeah.
And that was like, I suppose we've been friends for years, but it's
kind
of weird interviewing you now. It's like, but yeah.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, pleased to meet you. Yeah, great to meet you for this first time ever. But obviously, I've seen you like grow as a musician, and I've seen you in several different sort of outfits and things. You don't just always wear this. Several different. I suppose.
What do you mean outfits?
Musical outfits.
I just wear that one t-shirt all of the time.
I've seen you about 3 t-shirts in your whole life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've seen you in different musical projects and things, and obviously I think you always seem to sort of come back to this acoustic thing. Is that something you consciously do?
No, to be honest, I'd love to be in a band, but nobody wants it. No, I'm joking. No, it's not that. It's as you know, I kind of end up moving after. Yeah. So I moved. I was in a really cool band here. You remember Witness?
Yeah, I remember Witness.
Absolutely loved being in that band so much. But then one of us moved to London. I moved to Norwich. Someone else got a good job opportunity, so we sort of disbanded. And then in Norwich, probably was the best opportunity to form a band, but I didn't. I did solo stuff. And then I moved back, and then I moved to Norfolk, and now I've moved back. So, just about the time I start meeting like-minded people, I'm like, maybe I should get together with these people. I'm like, see you later. But maybe in due course, I'd like to perform as myself with a band sort of thing, in a non-egotistical way. But you have like my friend, I've got a friend called Tom Lumley. Check him out, he's amazing. He plays as Tom Lumley, but he's got a band that goes on tour with. Yeah, really good. Awesome. So I'd like to do something like that eventually, I think. That's the goal.
Definitely, yeah. So you've got, obviously, I mean, I imagine, just from that sort of thing, you've got like a wealth of material, original music.
Although you'll always see online the same 1 or 2 songs, but I have quite a few songs, but I'm quite choosy. I think I've written so many songs over the years, but I'm really fussy, and I'll only play like the same 5 to 8 songs. I'm like, all the other 30 you can get in the bin.
These are refined.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't like them, that's the best I've got. But no, yeah. So
good.
I should, maybe I'll start playing some of my other songs.
Yeah,
at some
definitely.
point.
Are you planning to sort of like record some of them? Do you think then?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them down already. I've got a third one that just needs mixing actually. And then I'm in the process of recording another one, and I'm hoping to get one more done so I can release an EP.
Yeah.
10 years in the making. Whoops. But yeah, so hopefully, I'm hoping by next year I'll have an EP, to release. Yeah. Early next year, maybe like spring.
Definitely, I think that's the sort of thing with that I've always seen with you is that you gig lots, but it's kind of like, I suppose online presence isn't something that you sort of really focused on, and you've actually, to be honest, it's like, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you've done amazingly well considering you don't sort of like really push that in a sense.
Yeah, I get a lot of really cool opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying more in this last, now that I've graduated and my little boy's a little bit older and stuff, I'm starting to try and actively move forward with my music career. But for the 3 or 4 years where I didn't really, do much with it, I did still get some nice opportunities coming through.
Yeah, definitely.
And some nice gigs and a couple of radio plays and things like that. So yeah, I'm quite lucky really. I think, hopefully when I take the steps to really go, be proactive with it, hopefully good things will happen. But we'll have to see how it goes, yeah.
Yeah, I think as well, like, obviously I've seen you do, lots and lots of things over a long period of time. And, sort of, I feel like definitely just seeing what you did with AudioStage, because obviously I haven't seen you in a while. Because
I keep moving
around. Yeah. But the thing that you did with AudioStage, you sort of said, come on, we want you to come and do this. And actually you've kind of been away for a while, I suppose, it's your sound in a sense has matured, like it seems
good.
And I think like what you're doing now is you're actually moving into, well, from what I can see, and I'm obviously, I'm just a spectator, I can just see that you're like developing into this sort of like a place where you're really, really comfortable with what you're doing musically now.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you think that. Yeah, that is quite true. Like I say, I would never perform my own songs.
Yeah.
Like at open mics or gigs and stuff, I'd always play covers even though I had all my own songs.
Yeah.
My song Rosaline.
Yeah.
That
is
people liked
an amazing
that song.
I
People
love
love it,
song.
and I didn't play it for about 5 years because I didn't like it. And people said, "Why don't you play that song?" I'm like, I don't like it. And I started playing it again, and now I'm like, actually, do you know what? This is what I write. If people don't like it, like. Because I hung around with so many really cool musicians that knew all the fancy stuff and listened to all these like avant-garde musicians, I was like, oh, I'm a bit pop, like I don't think I'm going to be very accepted. But actually, what I write's what I write, and I'm comfortable with that now. I like it. Yeah, I quite like what comes out nowadays.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I suppose it's just sort of a kind of, I say coming of age. You're not like like
not that old.
Not old. Yeah, exactly. But it is in a sense of like, it is sort of like that kind of like sense of, right, I'm here now. This is I'm very set on what I'm doing, and that actually definitely comes across in your music.
Good.
And I think we're continuing to see like more and more gigs, and you kind of, now that you've been moving between these two places, you've kind of got a lot of networking going on in the different places. That's
the one plus to moving about is you sort of, like when I was in Norfolk, I was in West Norfolk. I now know a good majority of the music scene in West Norfolk, because it's quite a small scene, but they get about because Norfolk's a big county.
Yeah, it is.
So if you know someone who plays in Wisbech, Kings Lynn, you know someone who's playing in Norwich, because they're generally going all across that space. So it was a good, moving to Norfolk was great for that.
Yeah.
And now I've come over here, I've got contacts there, and I had people, obviously I'm from Northants, so I know people over here already.
Yeah. So
that is the benefit of, you meet all these different people and they inspire your music as well in different ways.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from being in Norfolk that I've brought back with me, so yeah, it is good in that sense. Definitely. Yeah.
So obviously we're talking, we know what's going on with you at the moment. We've kind of touched on the future for Jess Orestano, but where do you sort of see everything going in the future? I mean, you know, in terms of, I suppose you want to do your EP, but kind of following that as well. What's the plan?
Well, the plan is you're going to hold me to this. Isn't accountability thing now.
Now it's on video.
Yeah.
It's like you've got a plan
get my
now.
butt in gear.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is unpack, because I've just moved house, as you know.
Yep.
Unpack all my stuff, mix my track Rosaline, bring that out, and then I've got a couple more tracks to get down. Hopefully an EP in spring. Once I've got an EP out, then I'm going to try and start, you know, supporting local musicians as opposed to always playing the pub gigs, which I do love. It's good fun. But to progress, obviously, I'd like to start doing those original gigs, supporting local musicians. And then the dream is to go on the Jules Holland show.
Jules Holland, okay.
When that happens,
Right,
I'll be like, when?
Exactly.
I'll be like,
when? Yeah, absolutely.
Then I'll be like, yeah, I did it.
Well, you've done an audio stage now, so I mean,
that's
like,
it.
you know, this is
any day now I'll get that
pinnacle.
call from
Yeah,
Jules.
exactly. Yeah. Jules is going to be like, look,
I saw you on audio stage.
I saw you.
Get over.
But that's it's funny. Like that's really what we hope can happen from these sorts of things, and like, you know, it's an exposure and a platform in a sense, and like, you know, I'm really grateful and glad to have you on.
I was really pleased you asked me, because you've had some amazing, like I said, I'm a big Voices from the Fuselage fan.
Yeah.
And I was just loving being there, watching them live, like, yes! On them, number one nerdiest fan. It's really awkward.
Well, it's interesting though, because you talk about Voices from the Fuselage, but you actually, well, I know you obviously sound engineered for them for a while, and you've got a lot of people will sort of go, oh, she's just a singer, songwriter, blah blah blah, and she won't know. But you really know your stuff when it comes to all the tech side of things.
Well, the problem with me is I'm one of those people who I always feel like I don't know anything or enough.
Yeah.
So like. I did music tech at college.
Yeah.
I did it at uni. I sound engineered for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And still, if you ask me a techie question, I'll be like, I don't think I'm the person you should be asking. Like, I don't know what more I'm expecting from myself. But yeah, I do know a little bit. You know, I can get by with the knowledge I've got. But
get by.
Well, I don't know. Like, there's definitely people out there that know worlds more than I do, but then there's also people that know less. I don't quite know where I fall in that, but
absolutely.
But I know a little bit about that sort of thing too.
But that's the thing. That's what seems to be great about your sort of knowledge of the industry, I guess, and actually knowledge of the tech side of things, is that you can kind of do all this stuff yourself. Yeah,
it's good, and it kind of helps as well, because like when I'm playing live, I know kind of what I want it to sound like, which can be a blessing and a curse, because in some ways it's great, because I can be like, oh, can you do this and this, boom, now I know, rather than trying to explain what I mean. I know how to ask. But at the same time, the problem with having done performance and engineering is that when I'm performing, I'm trying to engineer myself through my performance if something's not quite how I want it to sound. Whereas I should just play, and then the sound engineer will sort me out.
And do it.
I'm like, like, do you know what I mean? And then I'm trying to focus on too many things at once, and it's a bit of a silly thing to do, but
you can get in your head a bit about those sorts of things.
Because you're trying to listen to how you sound as well as just performing confidently. So can be good and a bad thing, I suppose.
Definitely. So at the moment you're sort of self recording and all these sorts of things at the moment. Are you like mixing and mastering, doing everything yourself?
Kind of, but actually our old college tutor, Jules.
Jules.
He's been helping me out quite a lot actually.
Okay,
because like I say, because I've got a little boy, there's always something else I should be doing that I can't justify putting the time into what I want to be doing. Whereas if I book to go and see Jules, I'm like, right, that's what's happening that afternoon. I can go, don't have to feel guilty that I should be doing something else. He's been doing some recording for me, and he did Rosaline for me and sent that over for me to mix. So I'll mix and master it. But he got it down for me. So it's a little bit of both, a bit of me. Yeah. And I've had a couple of offers from other friends that say, I'll pop in, I'll do some recording. So it's nice as well. I like going to other people, not just record myself, because you learn from people all the time.
Absolutely,
people have different equipment, different ways of doing stuff.
Yeah.
The tracks will come out sounding nothing like I thought they were going to. Which can be a good thing. So it's good fun, trying all different avenues.
So is that your sort of, I mean, you're obviously kind of questing for knowledge in a sense, like, and by going out and meeting these different people. But I think that seems to be one of your great great strengths really, because
Oh, thanks.
you're a very likable person, and I don't think you know, like you're very inoffensive in that sense. So, you know, that's kind of a very backhanded compliment, isn't it? But yeah, like I think that everyone I've met has got on with you in a sense, like
Oh,
you know.
nice,
So
thanks.
it's really nice, and like you know, you're a very humble and like kind person, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Which I'm
I'm
just
gonna come here more
showering
often.
you in compliments,
Can I do
showering
another
you.
interview next
Yeah,
week?
yeah, exactly.
A little dip in the mood in the week. I'll just pop
Yeah.
over and get some compliments.
Just make you feel better about yourself. Yeah, for the afternoon. Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's the thing. I think it's like not a lot of people. So when they see your videos, they, you know, hopefully that comes across. But it's like people really like with different artists and things. You don't know that, like, because that person's just talking about themselves, and they come across as very self-involved, and it's like, no, we're tailoring this to be like that. But I know how difficult this is for you to actually have a conversation about yourself and like, about your own music in a sense.
Yeah,
It's like,
I like to talk about my music more now,
Yeah.
but like you said with the techie and the engineering stuff, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, can be awkward, yeah. Don't want to come across egotistical
No,
or whatever,
exactly.
do you?
Yeah,
But,
definitely. But yeah, so are you sort of? I know obviously we're talking about your own music now. You know, we're discussing sort of your future and all these sorts of things. I mean, what have you got coming up in the immediate future?
Well, I've just got a few gigs lined up in Corby, where I'm living now.
Yeah.
And then later on in the year, I sometimes go on PCR FM, which is Peterborough Community Radio.
Yeah.
Great bunch of guys over there. They play a lot of local musicians.
Awesome.
They give you little challenges, stuff like that. That's really fun. So I'm going back over there in November, so I'll advertise that on my page nearer the time.
Yeah.
And then in December, I've got a Christmas appearance at Beetroot Radio, so I'll be doing some Christmassy songs there, stuff like that.
That's with Sharon, is it?
Yeah,
Sharon?
Sharon Reed,
brilliant.
she's lovely.
Yeah.
Actually, my Year 5 teacher.
Your Year 5 teacher?
Yeah.
Wow,
but
okay.
now she's the
Networking.
radio host that I go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Networking from age 9.
Yeah. All you had to do was go to school. Yeah.
Stay in school.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, so a few little bits and bobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it goes. But
definitely. It seems like it's really sort of exciting for you as well. Like, I mean, it's sort of, I know we spoke about this and you took a little bit of time out, you know, obviously to have your little boy and, you know, kind of be a mother.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
intense.
the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
God, that's terrifying. This is way easier than that. But yeah.
Do you find that sort of like doing music in, like, I'm not saying that you ever want to get away from him, but it's sort of like sometimes it's kind of like a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it's nice to. I think the one common thing that mums would tell you is that it's very important to still remember who you are as an individual. Yeah. For me, I've always had the avenue of music. Some women don't know what that means for themselves if they don't have something specific that they've loved to do. But I always know I can go back to music and find myself. Yeah. And then go home and carry on being a mum. Yeah. So it's nice to have that little bit of me to keep for myself.
That's quite lucky in a sense, because I think you know that as you say, not many people. Well, not many mums. Sometimes dads, you know, who can even
be
sort
like,
of find
wow,
that.
Where did I go? Who even am I? What do I like? All that sort of stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's good to have that, definitely.
Yeah. So as a bit of a, I suppose a bit of a roundup. We're sort of looking at. I mean, we're looking at you talking about releasing Rosaline, is it?
Yeah.
Your next track.
Yeah, hopefully,
later this year.
Yeah, as soon as I get those rockets unpacked,
okay.
we're in, and find my eye lock, we're in business.
You've got to get it all unpacked.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's on the book. So I'll be calling you saying you've got that all unpacked yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can start pushing it. Yeah, definitely. But it's obviously you've done 3 tracks for us, which will be going out. You know, obviously, they will, by the time they've seen this interview, will have seen one of your tracks. So that'll be all going out, and the full set will follow, obviously. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. We look forward to your Rosaline coming out later this year, and hopefully an EP next year.
Oh God, fingers crossed. Been saying it for the last however many years.
Well, it's on video now. You've got to
One
do it.
day,
You've committed to
I
it
have now. I'm held accountable for it now, aren't I?
Adoring fan base is expecting it now, and they'll be
the millions.
They'll be lynching you if you don't. Yeah, so absolutely.
I'll make it happen.
You've got to now. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, obviously, and get involved with AudioStage. We're available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find all of our content also on YouTube and our website, which is www.audiostage.co.uk. You can also, obviously, don't forget to go and follow Jess on her social media and listen to her music, find her on Spotify, subscribe, like, do everything you need to do. And yeah, start sharing her about. Awesome. Thank you very much. Cheers.